Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about some of the AP and overall boosts. And honestly, I just want to give some different suggestions or ideas that I've seen kind of throughout, my gameplay or people stopping in at chat. Some of it can be pretty cheap. Some of it can be really expensive. And I kind of want to float some ideas and suggestions to you guys, just in case you're trying to make one of these AP lines or max out some of the overalls. Now, if you take a look, if you hit your right trigger, if you're on Xbox, you can see there's different ability point categories by combining different things. So say if you have 3 American players, that's going to give you a +2 AP boost. Now, keep in mind, say for instance, you have 3 Canadian forwards along with a guy from the Islanders, Flyers, and Detroit Red Wings. They actually stack and it creates +8 AP. I usually designate my 4th line for that. So as you see, I got Owen Tippett, Steve Yzerman, and Jonathan Drouin. That is my 4th line. It gives me a +8 overall boost. My 3rd line gives me a +2 because I got all Americans for that one. As you move on up, we see a +2 overall. So if you hit RB on there, because we got a guy from Czechia, Pasternak, Joe Sakic covers the Avalanche, and Naslund is the Swedish player. And that gives them a +2 overall boost. There's different line combinations, and there's some things that it's like, yeah, the line combinations are awesome, but at the same time, it might not be the end-all, be-all. Just because that Joe Sakic is an 88, and Pasternak's now an 87, and Naslund's an 86, I still prefer my first line with Solani, Fedorov, and McDavid over that secondary line. So don't get caught up in the, I need to get cards that give you a +2 overall boost or, all this AP. I think you need to designate what's your priority and who you still play well with. As you can see here, like I got Paul Coffey, who's an 88 overall. He has a +2 boost. Why aren't they the number 1 line? I like Justin Barron, but an 84 overall, Cale Makar suits me better for my gameplay style. I'm a scoring defenseman. I like being able to move my defenseman around. He moves a little bit more clunky. Now, Paul Coffey, on the other hand, absolutely nuts card, but it just doesn't balance as well as, say, Heiskanen and Cale Makar, even though they have no synergy boost whatsoever. So I want to show you throughout the market maybe some line combinations and ideas that you may not have thought of that can give you some different AP overall boost. Now, the thing I'm going to have you reference or maybe timestamp, I can always try to come back to it, is, seeing the AP overall boost, and I'll show you guys all of these that you can always reference. And at the same time, the other thing I want you to do is I want you to put down some of these overall boosts that you guys use, or AP or salary boosts, in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what lines you guys run to create the most possible that ability points or salary or overall combos that you got going on. Right now, with me, I got 30 ability points at my disposal. I'm still underneath the salary cap, and I have a phenomenal team. And I got some that give some overall boost, but nothing too crazy. So the biggest thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is if you're trying to combo AP abilities, just kind of taking a look at, one, I know I have to have them be Canadian. So I'm going to get a Detroit Red Wings player because that's going to check one box. They got to be Canadian, so I'm going to knock that down as well. I'm going to try the alumni section first. All right, so we got Ted Lindsay. We got Sid Abel, we got Terry Sawchuk, Gordie Howe, and obviously some of these are going to go for more than others. Now, what I found out early on is Steve Yzerman seems to be the good choice. I'll hide my head here, but he has 90 faceoffs, 86 excel, 86 speed. He's got quick draw on there. I mean, that's a really good starting point, but what's his price going for right now? If you compare his price, $50,044, $99, and $46. So $44,000 is your cheapest. I think there's a cheaper path, especially if this is going to be on your 4th line. Now, is Sid Abel as good as Yzerman? Probably not. But at an 81 overall, it saves you a little bit on cap. But if you take a look, he has 88 faceoffs too, 84 excel, 85 speed. So he's only 1 off on speed, 2 off on acceleration. Your 4th line might only hit the ice once or twice for a little bit of time. So Sid Abel now comes in at a low price of $18,000, which that's, you can maybe get a little bit lower, but I know because these are used for AP lines, like Sid Abel is just going to be going for a little bit more. But this is an alternative option to possibly get somebody cheaper. Now, let's look at some of the other teams that you'd have to combo it with. So once again, you do New York Islanders because that's one of the other teams that's on there. I want to still stay with Canada as my country because that's what we're looking at. And what I look for in my fourth line is usually speed. So we could look at Matt Barzal, 89 XL, 88 speed. He's got all-star wheels, 81 faceoffs, so he's going to have to be your right-handed shot. What's he going for currently? 58,000, 59,000. That's egregious to me. Why? To me, at an 81 on faceoffs, like, he's probably going to play the wing. But if you take a look at, say, Jonathan Drouin here, don't let the overalls disguise it. 88 XL, 88 speed. I know I'm going to put him on the wing, but what's his price going for compared to a guy like Matt Barzal? Yes, he's another winger, but 4,000 coins. Boom. I'm nabbing up Jonathan Drouin right there for 4,000 coins, and we're on to our last team. As you look at the Flyers, once again, we're looking for Canadian wingers. We could look at a guy like maybe Travis Konecny. That's a right-hand winger, 89 XL, 89 speed. Not bad at all with mid-80s for his shot. But what's that Travis Konecny card going for right now? As you take a look, 19,000 looks to be the cheapest right now. There's an 18,000, but 19,000 coins. But if you also take a second to look at Owen Tippett, 89 XL, 90 speed, has quick release, phenomenal ability if you have the AP to spare for it, 6'1", 210, and honestly, his shot's in the mid-80s as well. I would maybe look at this Owen Tippett card, take a look at what his price is going for, and just like that, 8,000 compared to a lot higher amount. There's one for almost 5,000. So just like that, you can build a +8 AP line, and realistically, 4,000 for one of the cards, 4,000 for Tippett, that's 8,000, and Abel was as low as 18 grand. I mean, you're looking somewhere in the ballpark of 26,000 coins. And just like that, you have a +8 AP line that can do just fine for you because, you know, you're not going to use them at all times. They're just kind of like, you know, the bend but don't break mentality. And if they get you a goal, sweet. But I don't think they're bad cards by any means. Now, if you have the coins, like I've replaced Abel out for Yzerman, and there's different options that you guys can do, but that's what I'm running for my AP fourth line. Now, I know there's a bunch of other combinations. I could have looked at, you know, I could look at, you know, for the Philadelphia Flyers, I could have did the icons for it. I could have looked at the alumni. I could have went in a plethora of different directions. I just wanted to show you one combination that I liked personally that worked out extremely well early on for me for a budget until I kind of built up my coin base. I think the next thing I want to take a look at is maybe the overall line combinations. Now, the +2, the obvious one that everybody seems to be making is Pastrnak, Sakic, Naslund. Now, I think that's a very good combination if you can afford it. Now, if you saw my video from yesterday, I showed you how to make David Pastrnak for free. Yes, for free. Check the video at the end, but I can show you just from doing objectives, moments, wild card, you will have enough for not one, but realistically, if you've been participating for the last 2 weeks of the event, should get 2 of those bad boys for free. Now, when it comes to Joe Sakic is going to cost you quite a bit. The icons typically do right now. And Naslund's a pretty cheap make. But let's go through some overall line combinations that you could do depending on how many coins you got. So the first thing I look at is Colorado. There's a lot of figures that could go out for this. There's a couple different names I'm going to drop for this. One, the obvious is if you have the coins, Nate McKinnon's one of the best cards in the game. He by far, to me, has the best combination of X factors with wheels and quick release. He has the speed excel. He's one of the best cards in the game for a reason. He's running, let's just say, a lot of coins right now. 220. 220 is what he's floating for. I've seen him as low as 180. If I see it go down to 180 again, I'll get it. But don't sleep on this guy either. He is kind of like the budget version of it, but he's extremely good. Martin Necas, 6'3", $195. He has the wheels, just not the quick release, but 91 XL, 90 speed. At 6'3", he's hard to knock off the puck. You could throw him in at center as well, but with 80 faceoffs, I probably wouldn't. But his stats are extremely well too, but you can also get him 86,000 there. That's not bad. 83,000, 84,000, we'll just call it. Martin Necas could either satisfy having your Colorado player, or it could also take care of the Czechia nationality player that you need as well. So it could cover one of two spots for that. The other one I want to show you guys. The other one I want to show you is Joe Sakic, but his alumni card. 89 XL, 88 speed, 89 faceoffs, and he has quick release. His shot's disgusting with 91 shot accuracy, 91 shot power. Now, if you can't afford to maybe make the icon or buy the icon, don't hesitate to go with the alumni, because the alumni's 83 and above are kind of going, depending on what card it is, you're looking at 30,000 or above. Now, Joe Sakic, because it can be used in an overall line boost, is going to go for more, but for 77,000, it's not bad. I ended up buying him before we knew the icon was coming out for like 100 and some, so he's definitely gone down. He's kind of trending back up as time goes on and we see, you know, all these combinations can be used, but don't hesitate to maybe look at this Joe Sakic if you can't make the icon one. Another one you could look at is Hejduk. At 83 overall, he's a right-handed winger. He could either satisfy for the Avalanche or for Czechia. 85 XL, 85 speed, mid for shooting, and he's got quick release on him. Now think if you end up getting that +2 boost, you're looking at 87 XL, 87 speed, and his shot's in the upper 80s now. Really good card, and maybe you're not breaking the bank on this one compared to some of the others. 75,000, so 37,000 is what I'm seeing here. So 37,000 compared to maybe looking at, you know, the Necas, which is, you know, 80,000, compared to the Joe Sakic, which is around the 80,000, or jumping up to Nate MacKinnon, which is 200,000 or 220,000. This could be an alternative to that and a little bit more of a budget spot, and you can float them. You can either satisfy the Avalanche player or the Czechia player. Everybody's extremely high on Naslund. He's good, don't get me wrong, but don't hesitate to look at maybe a card like Adrian Kempe. Why? Because Naslund has elite quick release. It's going to cost you 3 AP, but Kempe comes in with 1 ability point. If you give him a +2, he now has 90 XL, 91 speed. He's in his mid to upper 80s for shooting. Hands are in the mid 80s. And he's a lot more well balanced. Now I can only use 1 ability point on him, and I still get the +2 out of it. You know, in case you can't swing all the AP for it. Naslund was the one I took it off of because he just isn't as quick as some of the other guys like McDavid is for me, or Solani, or Fedorov, or Sakic. So having this in, this could be maybe an alternative choice compared to some others. And his price right now, you're looking at about 26,000 coins. It's not like crazy, and it's maybe cheaper to make than Naslund if you don't have the pieces for it, but you got the coins. Otherwise, I would 100% build Naslund and not look back, because that's essentially, you know, a free make. Now we have to talk about defense. Defense wins championships. Now, I've seen a bunch of different people run different combinations for their defense for it, but for Paul Coffey, the big thing is a Nashville Predators defenseman to go with it. So Justin Barron is a team of the week one. I highly recommend making that because it's extremely cheap and he's not bad at all. It's 6'2", $198. 89 XL, 88 speed with those synergies activated. He only does have 81 endurance, but he's not the focal point of my offense, so he does pretty good at staying out on the ice for a long period of time. Plus, I got him on the second line. His defensive stats ain't too bad at all. If you can make this team of the week one, just by doing the team of the week moments and objectives, you can get this for free as well. Another one I've seen is using Brady Skachy. And yes, like I know it's a lefty mixed with Coffey, who's also a lefty, but I see people just wanting to use the Nashville Predators D-man regardless of, you know, what it is. But at 85 XL, 85 speed, it's not a bad combination, and he's going a lot cheaper than some of the other Nashville defensemen. You can catch him for under 10K, not bad at all. And if you got the coins to float, it's definitely going to be Roman Josi. Roman Josi's going for 76,000. I think I ended up pulling him luckily, and I just sold him. But defensive stats are immaculate. 87 XL, 87 speed. His shot's extremely good too at 6'1", 201. His card just moves extremely fluid. If you have the coins to float, this is not a bad combo, even though, yes, it's a lefty-lefty combo. There is also a Boston combo out, so anybody that made Chara for their Hut Hero, might I suggest, even though it's a left-handed defenseman, Hampus Lindholm. He's another Boston guy, but if you get him the +2 bonus, 89 XL, 89 speed. His shot's not the greatest, but defensively he's very solid. He moves extremely well. A lot of people want to jump and use McAvoy. I highly recommend this Fresh Ice player. He does not go for a crazy amount either. And yes, even though it's a lefty-lefty combo, you can find this for 10,000 coins. Not bad at all. Maybe some underneath. There, boom, 98, 99, 38, random number. But this is also a very good option if you're looking for another Boston player to use. Charlie McAvoy, as you can see here, goes for almost double that price. And honestly, I used him. He was kind of clunky. 87 XL, 88 speed. Looked good on paper, but just didn't move extremely fluid for me. I don't know what it was, and maybe I was still getting used to the game, but I liked Lindholm a lot more. And he comes for a fraction of the cost. Hey, once again, this video just wanted to kind of cover some of the different AP line combinations, different overall combinations to give your guys' boosts, and same thing with salary. We haven't gotten to the point where I've needed to do salary lines just yet. I really hope I don't have to do that anytime soon, and I can continue to just plug and use different players and stuff like that. But don't hesitate to look at different cards this year than what you're accustomed to. Dylan Larkin in the past, I would never use at center because he had horrible faceoffs earlier in the year. This year, 90 XL, 89 speed, 88 faceoffs. Boom. Initially put in, and he has wheels, one of the best abilities in the game. Mike Modano, another one. Love him there. 90 XL, 90 speed. He's got wheels as well. At 6'3", 212, hard to knock off the puck. Some of these are going to cost a little bit more, but it's not impossible. +8 line combinations, +2 AP, +2 overalls. I mean, every line has a purpose for me. What have you guys done? What are some line combinations you're running? What did you find was the best method for making that line combination? How much did you spend on it? And is there any other suggestions that I may have left out? I know there's a ton, but let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We are so close to 500 subscribers. I'm very thankful for that. Other than that, take care, and we'll see you for more NHL 26 news.